Welcome back to Rennebu and the Norwegian farm, and the last episode of this series. So this is the end. I accomplish my goal, modern day dairy farm. Not quite not something you see in Norway, so to say, but you see something similar to this. We've been through this before. When it comes to barns, we are quite international, so we pick up trends from around the world and we build accordingly to our climate and needs. So I did say I wanted this barn because we could see inside how a modern day barn is, but I totally forgot to talk a little bit about it. So before we move on, let's do that. So yeah, this is it's not a typical free stall cow barn in any means. They come in so many different designs and solutions. So, but the concept itself is typical. You have this aisle here where they go to feed to eat, with the trot here, so you can drive with the tractor. And before I forget, I have a robot here, but the robot is feeding TMR, and on this map TMR is only 20% effectiveness. So when I use the robot, my cows, there was like 40% health, no production, no, they didn't kind of reproduce, standing still. So I had to manually feed them like a normal. So I reconfigured the Oracle trailer. It's an excellent trailer with a silage configuration, 20,000 liter capacity, and can take straw, hay, silage, TMR, grass. So and then everything was good. So yeah, you can feed with tractor or a feed mixer and so on, or a robot like we have. And further inside we have these boots. This is where they go to lay down and sleep, and they are designed in a way that they don't take a dump inside. So the idea is they lay down here and they keep clean. They don't lay down here where they poop. So they supposedly be more clean. It's not always the case. You have some cows that like to lay down here. That's no good. So compared to the old type of barns, like I talked about in the first episode, we have typical 2 aisles of boot like this in the barn on each side, and you had in the middle here the trot, yeah, where you fed them. And you drop the food down from the roof, and you have to manually distribute the food with a hay fork, typical. Later on they got some mechanization, so it was easier to feed them. But then they was tied up in these boots, and that's not allowed anymore. It is allowed in old barns, but if you build a new barn in Norway, you'll have to build something like this. And also, as I mentioned, you have to have a field or a pasture, so the cows can go outside a certain amount of time each year. And if I'm not completely wrong, I think it's 8 weeks minimum for cows in a free stall barn, and 12 weeks if you have this old type where the cows are tied up inside all winter. And over here is milking robots. I'm sure there are a couple of barns in Norway with 3 of these. The most typical, I would argue, is 1 of these. one robot can handle about 60 cows a day, and a lot of our barns, the big ones, are like 60-65 cows. There are some bigger though, with 2 robots. Not that many. There are some regulation in Norway. You can only produce 1 million liters of milk. That's the biggest quota you can have, and then you need 2 of those. But typical yet is a barn with just 1 of these, and you kind of get them in here. This gate open, and you see there's a little food trough here where they get the mineral feed, so they have to come in and milk. And also a cow, if you don't milk it, they will start to feel pain. There will be so much milk in the uterus, or is that something else? Yeah, you know what I mean. So they kind of like coming in, and this small robotic arm here is cleaning the cow and milking each. I don't know all the English name for this, but yeah, they also check the milk, and if the milk is bad, or is a newborn cow, or a cow that just gave birth to a calf, it take the milk and put it elsewhere, because you can't sell it the first 5 days. And also, lastly, we have this this place here. It's a sick yard. Can we say that? If you have a cow that's need a veterinarian to check her out, you put her in here. A cow that's giving birth, you put it in here, and other reasons why you want to separate a cow. In this barn, it's only one of these sick bays. In Norway, there are rules. You have to have a certain amount of sick bays compared to how many cows you have. So I'm pretty sure there are no barns with only one of these. Most likely 2 or more. So, and also in the Norwegian barns, you usually keep all the bulls yourself, and all the young cows. And you want to have everything in one building. It's more efficient when it comes to feeding and so on. And that's why a robot is very good. So you can have one recipe for the bulls, and one recipe for the calves, and one for the cows that are milking, and so on, compared to where in the cycle the cows are. So yeah, but all in all, this is pretty much like it looks like in a Norwegian modern dairy farm barn. So yeah, that said, we have one more thing to do before we end it. And I talked about it last episode, and that's the last grass harvest with a modern day grass harvest equipment. And as I said, in Norway nowadays, in my area, most of the big farms are using a contractor to collect the grass. And the contractors can afford to buy bigger and better equipment. And this is something that you see more and more, at least in my area. That's a Krone mower, self-propelled mower. It's not easy for one farm to have one of these. You use it like 3 days each year if you are all alone. But a contractor, they kind of use it all summer. So yeah, this is a typical, starting to be a typical mower. It's not quite a typical mower yet. And you can cut grass in a swap or spread. And often in Norway we spread the grass so it dries out, because as I mentioned we don't want to transport a whole lot of water into the silo. So we want to dry it out for maybe a day or a half day. So you spread it out and then you use a windrower to collect it back into swaps. I have chosen to collect it in swap because that also happens in Norway. If the weather forecast is bad, then you are in a hurry. So yeah, so I won't windrow it. And lastly, we have this Fendt 900 series. I'm not saying that's a typical tractor for the contractors, but I see it a lot though. So it's a popular tractor for the contractors. It's very expensive, so it's not that cheap for a single farmer, although there are farmers that have this tractor as well. And I chose this big class pickup wagon, and that's not typical in Norway. A pickup wagon ain't that popular in Norway for some reason. I don't think I ever seen one in action in my part of the country, although I have seen some standing around. But I chose this one because normally the big contractors nowadays use maybe like this. Kone is kind of popular when it comes to self-propelled forage harvester and mowers. But if I would use this now, I would have to attach a trailer on the back, and that's not typical at all. Typical contractors come in with a mower, and when it's in a swap, they get one of these self-propelled forage harvester and 4 or 5 tractors with big trailers going beside the pickup the forage harvester. Since I'm just me, one person, for me to drive one of those and attach and detach the trailer all the time wouldn't be that effective. So I choose a big pickup wagon instead. Class is a common brand in Norway. When it comes to those big grass trailers, there are so many different brands. I haven't really paid attention to the brand, but I have seen big class grass trailers. So yeah, so that's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna time it to see compared to last harvest when I did it with my own gear equipment. We used 52 minutes, and now I'm gonna see how fast can I do it with the best of the best, so to say. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. I won't predict anything, but I will guess like half an hour maybe. Let's find out. So yeah, this is there we go. Yeah, so the swaps aren't that big, since this is only 8 meters, I think. But anyway, when I'm done mowing, I'm ready to start pickup. Oops. So yeah, I will do this, and I will get back to you when the cutting, mowing is done. So I will see you in a bit.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'm a fake it till
Alright, mowing is done, and that went real fast compared to my old equipment. 7 minutes and 20 seconds around. So yeah, that's half the time. With my equipment we used 14 minutes and probably some seconds. So yeah, twice as fast. The capacity of this trailer is also, compared to mine, this is 42,000 liters, 44,000, and mine was, or is, 18.7. So it's more than twice the capacity. So it's gonna be work like a charm, I hope. So yeah, I will time this one, and we'll see how much quicker it is. I will also deliver all of this into the barn. It's not that far to drive and deliver like last time, but I have to reverse up that up to the barn, so I guess it will take pretty much the same time. So yep, I will time-lapse this as well, and I will see you when it's done.
As you fade away,
yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch
Alright, so it's done, and that was 13.5 minutes, and that was 10 minutes faster than last time. So all in all, we used 18 minutes compared to 52 minutes, so that's more than twice as fast. So yeah, there you go. It's there's a lot of time saved going big. Also a lot of money just to lease all this. I did sell milk and wool to get money, so I haven't cheated on the money. And it was like almost 20,000 for the mower, only like close to 6,000 for the trailer, and was it 15,000 I think for the tractor, so about 40,000 to lease all this equipment. And that's not quite realistic though, to pay that much compared to yeah, I think the price is too high. So when you rent a contractor, it's not like you're going bankrupt using a contractor. So yeah, now you know, big equipment saves time. So alright, that's the last field work for this series. But before we end everything, we're gonna do one more thing, and I need to set up some stuff, but I will be back in a blink. So I moved some stuff around, and it's time for a last view of the farm and all that we accomplish here in Rennebu. So yeah, this is pretty much what we started with back, it's been quite a while ago. A sheep barn and a silo, a house, and we didn't have this shed for wool. It looked quite different back in the days. We had a workshop around here, and that's it. And over here we had some fields, and yeah. And then we moved on and built this barn. Not that long ago. It took quite a while to earn enough money for this one. But then we started producing milk, and yeah, and the wool really gave us a lot of money now. So yeah, and I was just thinking before I end this series to have a little walkthrough among all my equipment that we have used, and according to the history, kind of, at least. So for those of you who have seen the first, oh, by the way, it wasn't 17 minutes to harvest that grass field, it was 20 minutes. My bad math. But anyway, for those of you who have seen the first episode, or all the episodes, first off, I know the sound quality isn't that good in the first 10 episodes, or 13, I don't know. But yeah, it's a work in progress. So, but anyway, we started off with these two classics. The MF135. That was a common sight in Norway. About every farm had one of those. And this wasn't far behind. Also a total classic in Norway. The Ford. I'm not sure if this Ford was a common sight or the classic in Norway, but Ford, along with Volvo BM, was in the 70s, 80s. Almost like these two. It was everywhere. So yeah, So we start with those. They have done a good job. This 135, although it's weak, it's a real good tractor. Later on, I found this one, mostly for personal reasons. As I mentioned back in the days, the first new tractor I drove was one of these, and I was thinking that was kind of the biggest tractor ever. It's not, and neither is this one. That's a common sight in Norway. A Valtra, among top 5 most sold tractor brands every year. And of course, this is the least one. It's starting to be a common sight, and it is a bit. I was thinking this was kind of big enough, but man, it's a big difference in size on those two tractors. That's for sure. Yeah. And moving on to mowing equipment. This is what we started with. Sizzle bar, wasn't that what it's called? Good machine. No swapping or anything, but a good one. And this, of course, the Norwegian classic of all, and also exported to different countries. The Serikstad. This says multi-cutter. I don't think this is a multi-cutter. And you had some equipment in the front there, but anyway, it was the same machine. You just added kind of a knife in the front, so you would cut the grass several times instead of just one. So yeah, direct harvester, cut the grass directly into the trailer. It was a huge step forward back in the days. And then we moved on, of course, to Kverneland, a mower. Good machine. I couldn't find a Kverneland front mower, so we ended up with this one. But it did a good job though. But all that is rather small compared to the one we leased now. This Krone machine, and it did the job twice as fast, if that's the correct way to say it, as these two together. So yeah. And if you saw the first episodes, or we collected all the grass with these two hay forks, each one with the capacity of 2,000 liters, and it took, I don't remember the time anymore, it took a whole lot of time to collect all the grass and most of the straw. Yeah, another Norwegian classic, the Unnahau. Hey, I haven't seen this before. This warning sign here, advarsel, warning, do not step on the trailer when the bottom chain is moving. The bottom chain, we can't see it, but you have this chain going in the bottom here, pulling or moving the grass backwards to this another chain belt that's throwing out the grass. So that's really cool. Can't imagine, I haven't seen that before. Yeah, and here you have a manual gearbox. Yeah, air pressure, the first one, lufttryck, air pressure, how much air to put in the wheel, both in kp, square inch, I don't know, and psi. And this handle is a gearbox on how fast the bottom belt is moving. So you could unload fast or not so fast. So Yeah, so when we finished with the Serigstad and Onahau, we bought this one. It's not a typical Norwegian brand, or a brand you see in Norway. I'm not familiar with it at all, but the design itself and the principle of it is something you saw in Norway in at least the 90s. And our last upgrade when it comes to collecting grass was this direct, no, not direct, this pickup wagon from Pottingham. And that's also, maybe not this Boss Alpine is a common sight in Norway, but Pottinger is a common brand. So we also bought this baler from Claas, basically to collect straw. It was a good baler. Didn't see that much action though, but or it looks like it did, but a very good baler, I must say. Cheap one. All those small bales, it's really fast to unload, so a good one. Yeah, as we start cutting down grass, we needed a windrower, so we started with this one. Not so good, like 2 meters about width, so not so good, but it did the job. We only used that one season, I think, and then we bought this, which is 4.7 meter, I think, working with, so much better. And we ended up with this another Norwegian quality product, Kvanland, of course. 8 meter or 7 point something meter. A good mower, windrower, I mean. Yeah, we didn't cultivate that much since we had a lot of grass all the time. But we started with this small, I think this is something lizard something. Yeah, it looked old, so it suits me fine. And we bought this one, which is also a lizard, I think. Yeah, I could have bought some Kvanland and so, but they were so big and expensive and heavy, so yeah. Over to rollers, we started. I actually sold the first one. That was, yeah, it's not important, Oxford old roller, I think. That didn't actually press down the stones, so I sold it and bought this one, which was good. It was narrow but good. And we bought this one with the bug. So if you remember my failed crop a couple of seasons ago, I rolled everything with this after I upgraded it with something, and nothing would grow. And then there was another upgrade or bug fix, and it worked again. So very good roller, 8.4 meters width, so good one. I throw in the stone fork as well. It saved us saved us some money picking up the big stones. I also picked up a whole field and sold because I was broke once, and yeah, it's working okay. It's cheap at least, so yeah. We didn't have any sprayer in the beginning because in the 60s that was not that common, if it existed at all. But a weeder, that's old technology. So this weeder did a good job for a long time. Until we bought this sprayer, which is not big. It's 12 meter, I think. 400 liter capacity. So it's a good sprayer, but it's a small one. So we did buy a plow in the end when I had this couple of seasons with potatoes. Of course, Kvanland, nothing else. And yeah, there's nothing else to say. That it's a good plow. So yeah, and on to combine. We started off with this one. It's a good combine, but it's small. It's 1500 liter capacity. I think the header is 3.2 or 4 meters, so it's not bad actually. In between these two, we had this Bison something, which had a 3000 liter capacity, I think. But the header was pretty much the same, maybe 3.5 meter. But I found this in the used market a long time ago. The header isn't really that much wider than the old one, but the capacity on this is now I don't remember, pretty big compared to that one at least. So is it 11,000? Yeah, so good combine. None of these one are typical for Norway. Later on, I found this Massey Ferguson old combine, which would have been perfect in this series, because Massey Ferguson combine, at least back in the 70s, 80s, was not that uncommon. But I'm not saying there are no case combine in Norway, but in my part of Norway, I have never seen one. But I don't live in a grain region. It's an animal district, so I'm pretty sure there are some case combines somewhere. Yeah, seeders. We started with this one. Good seeder, but a little bit buggy with you when you put the helper on, because the helper won't lift it up or down. So maybe it's have been updated since then, but yeah, it did the job. Between those two, I had this Amazon 4 meter seeder, which was very good, but I found this in the used market, a direct drill, so I swapped the 4 meter with the 3 meter, but then I didn't need these cultivators anymore. So all in all, okay investment. This is the Orkel trailer with the silage configuration. Orkel trailer is really good, so nothing else to say. And as I mentioned back in the days, the factory producing Orkel is just a couple of miles downstream of this river. This river is the river Orkla, and Orkel is named after this river. So the factory is just a couple of miles downstream. For some reason, I also bought this Grimme trailer. I had some struggle feeding the sheep and cows with this Orkel because it was hitting the roof. So I bought this one. I had some problem with that as well. Not the best thing I ever bought, but yeah. And I put up the leased pickup wagon just to show compare it to the size of the other. So this is 20,000 liter capacity, this Orkel, and this is 44,000 liters. So yeah, it's a big one. This is probably the last piece of Norwegian quality equipment, the Moi Doff, also from Jæren, where I live. So very good slurry spreader. I think it's 16 meter spreader, 11,000 liters capacity. Although a Doff X11 in real life has a capacity of 12,000 liters. That's just I don't know why the marking are like that, because X5 can take 6,000 liters and X6 can take 7,000 liters and so on. So this is probably 12 or 13,000 liters capacity. But anyway, very good slurry spreader. I really liked it. And it looks so good. Yeah. Yeah. Some spreaders in the end. We started with this one. It's I think it's a Wycon, yeah, which is now owned by Kverneland, so kind of Norwegian brand. Not quite, but still, now it's Kverneland. I bought this just a couple of episodes ago because I had a lot of liming to do, and I wasn't sure if I was able to buy the new barn, so I was planning for 1 more year. That didn't happen, but still it was nice to have it. And this is something you can find in the Norwegian on the Norwegian roads in the spring. So yeah. And finally, the Tine milk truck, which was didn't have to use it that much, but I had to use it. It's Tine. It's the Norwegian, the biggest Norwegian dairy factory, owned by the farmers in Norway. So yeah. Well, with that said, this is the end. It's a little bit sad, or it is sad that I come to an end. It was a real fun to play it. I love this map, and that it's so authentic to the real Rennebu. Check out some online map, and you will find not this farm because I built it myself, but everything else here you will find in an online map. So yeah. Anyway, this is it. This is me signing out of Rennebu. I hope you enjoyed the series, and if you did, I have other series as well. So since I won't see you here again, I hope to see you in one of my other series. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.